Luke Kuechly was a football genius. He could read offenses so well that he was already in the backfield before anyone could block him. While quarterbacks called out their plays before the snap, Kuechly was right there adjusting his defense. Opponents were stunned by his ability to call out their plays at the line. But how did he become the smartest linebacker the NFL has ever seen? And why did he walk away at the peak of his career?
It all started when Kuechly was just a kid. He always saw the game differently. What he lacked in size and speed, he made up for with his brain. At St. Xavier High School in Cincinnati, Ohio, he helped turn the program into a powerhouse. His coach, Steve Specht, taught him the most important skill in football, film study, and Kuechly absorbed it fast. Specht said Luke understood every position on the field and was always one step ahead. As a junior, he led St. Xavier to a perfect 15-0 season and a state championship. As a senior, he was one of the top high school linebackers in the country, but college recruiters were not exactly lining up. Kuechly weighed just 200 pounds and was not the physical force he would later become. He came in as only a 3-star recruit, rated the 44th outside linebacker in the 2009 class. He had 4 options: Stanford, Duke, Virginia, and Boston College. He chose BC because it was a Catholic school like St. Xavier and had already sent several St. X players there before him. But he still had to earn his spot, and early on, the older guys made sure he knew it.
While Kuechly was getting knocked around on the field, he was getting smarter in the film room. BC defensive back Wes Davis took him under his wing and spent hours breaking down opponents with him. The results came fast. With that mental edge locked in, Kuechly became a playmaker from his outside linebacker spot and earned ACC Defensive Rookie of the Year as a freshman. In his sophomore year, BC needed someone at inside linebacker. The coaches thought Kuechly could handle it. Luke was not sure, but he wanted to play, so he committed to learning the position. That decision turned him into a tackling machine. Over 3 years at BC, he set program records with 532 career tackles and 191 in a single season as a junior. After that masterpiece of a junior season, Kuechly was ready for the NFL. Scouts loved him. The league's pre-draft profile called him one of the most instinctual and technically sound linebackers in years. The one question was whether he could be physical enough to survive against pros. It would not take long to find out.
The Panthers head coach was Ron Rivera, a man who knew NFL defense inside and out. He played linebacker on the legendary 1985 Chicago Bears defense and later served as a defensive coordinator for Chicago and San Diego. Now he had Kuechly to build into the quarterback of his defense. But Luke did not step into that role immediately. Carolina already had a great middle linebacker in John Beeson, so Kuechly was moved back outside after the draft. Just like in college, he learned from veterans around him. Guys like Beeson, Thomas Davis, Greg Olsen, and Captain Munnerly helped him get up to speed on the pro game. Then everything shifted fast. In week 4, Beeson went down with a knee injury. 2 weeks later, he was done for the season. Just like that, Kuechly was thrown into the starting middle linebacker role at 21 years old. He handled it like a veteran. He practically lived in the film room, and on Sundays, he was a force. He started all 16 games as a rookie and led the entire NFL with 164 tackles. He added 2 interceptions, and Carolina's defense jumped from 27th in scoring defense all the way to 18th. After the season, he was named NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year over Bobby Wagner of the Seahawks. But the question everyone was asking, could he keep it up?
The answer was a loud yes. In year 2, Kuechly was even better. He started all 16 games again, piled up 156 tackles, and grabbed 4 interceptions. With him running the defense, Carolina allowed the second fewest points in the entire league. The Panthers finished 12-4 and won the NFC South for the first time in 5 years. He was named first-team All-Pro and NFL Defensive Player of the Year. 2 seasons in, and he was already a superstar. Inside the Panthers facility, Kuechly was the anchor of everything on defense. He put in 12-hour days during the week, with the final 2 to 3 hours locked in on film. He needed to know exactly what the other team was going to do before they did it. Hall of Fame coach Tony Dungy compared Kuechly's preparation to that of Peyton Manning, one of the greatest film study minds the game has ever seen. Dungy said Kuechly was always one step ahead of everyone else. Once Kuechly knew the play, he was already moving before the snap. Thomas Davis watched it happen week after week from right beside him.
Not everyone loved going up against that kind of football brain, though. Greg Olsen had a strong opinion about practicing against Kuechly.
Olsen said the Panthers' offensive coaches would ask Rivera to pull Kuechly off the field before they ran trick plays just so he would not blow them up in practice. All of that film work showed up every single Sunday. 2014 was another elite season. He led the NFL in tackles again and earned first-team All-Pro for the second time in 3 years. But despite being the best linebacker in the game and playing behind a great defense, the Panthers kept falling short in the playoffs.
Then 2015 arrived and everything clicked. Cam Newton won the MVP award on offense, Kuechly was unstoppable on defense. On Thanksgiving Day against the Cowboys, in front of the whole country, his football genius was on full display. Kuechly read Tony Romo's audible, changed the defense on the fly, then shadowed tight end Jason Witten down the middle. He anticipated exactly where Romo was going and jumped the route for a pick six. The crowd went crazy. The whole country went crazy.
Kuechly picked off Romo again on the very next series. America finally saw what Panthers fans had known for years. This man could outsmart any quarterback in the league. Carolina tore through that season going 15-1, the best record in the NFL. In the playoffs, they beat the Seahawks in the divisional round, with Kuechly recording 11 tackles and a pick six. Then in the NFC Championship against the Cardinals, he added 8 tackles, a fumble recovery, and another pick six in a 49-15 blowout. Then came the Super Bowl. Two of the greatest football minds ever matched up, Kuechly and the Panthers against Peyton Manning and the Broncos. Carolina's defense held Denver to just 194 total yards of offense, but Denver's defense, led by Super Bowl MVP Von Miller, was the difference. The Broncos won 24-10. Kuechly was incredible, leading the game in tackles and adding a sack, but it was not enough. In just 4 seasons, he had reached a Super Bowl, earned 3 first-team All-Pro selections, and won 2 major individual awards. Cam Newton gave him the perfect nickname. But while he looked invincible on the field, his body was sending a different message. In 2015, Kuechly suffered the first concussion of his career and missed 3 games. He also had a shoulder injury that needed surgery at the end of that same year. Then in 2016, something happened that changed everything. In Week 11 against the Saints, running back Tim Hightower's helmet hit Kuechly directly in the face mask. The play did not look violent, but Kuechly crumbled to the ground, dazed and disoriented. As trainers rushed over, he was sobbing and could not explain why. He just knew something was seriously wrong. As Kuechly was carted off the field with tears still falling, the entire football world held its breath. People everywhere feared this could be the end for one of the brightest stars the game had ever seen. Doctors confirmed a grade 3 concussion, the most severe kind. He missed the final 6 games of the 2016 season in the NFL's concussion protocol. That was now 2 serious head injuries in back-to-back seasons. In 2017, he came back strong. Over the next 3 seasons, he looked like his old self again. His tackle numbers went up each year, and he made the All-Pro team all 3 seasons, earning first-team honors twice. He played 48 out of a possible 49 games, including the playoffs. But that one missed game in 2017 came from yet another concussion. 3 in 3 seasons. UNCC brain injury expert Dr. Kevin Guskiewicz told Sports Illustrated that a 3rd concussion significantly raised the risk of long-term damage. In 2018 and 2019, Kuechly made it through without a major head injury. But as the 2019 season ended, he reached a point where he could not ignore the reality anymore. The hits had added up. He could not play at the level he demanded of himself. He refused to give his teammates anything less than his best. So in January 2020, after 8 remarkable seasons, Luke Kuechly retired from the NFL. He was just 28 years old. His brain had always been his greatest weapon, and now the most important thing was protecting it before any more damage was done. Retiring did not mean walking away from football completely. In 2020, the Panthers brought him on as a scout. It seemed like a perfect fit. More film, more studying. But after 1 year, it was not the right role for him. Then came something that felt like it was made for him. He became an assistant coach for a middle school football team in Charlotte, alongside former teammates Greg Olsen and Jonathan Stewart. Teaching the game to the next generation, a full circle moment. In 2022, he rejoined the Panthers organization again, this time as a part-time color commentator on team radio broadcasts. From the booth, he could break down plays in real time and share his deep football knowledge with fans. Then, in January 2025, after finishing his 3rd season behind the mic, he was named a Pro Football Hall of Fame finalist in his very first year of eligibility. He did not get in this time around, but nobody doubts that his resume belongs in Canton. He was an All-Pro every single season except his rookie year, when he won Defensive Rookie of the Year instead. He won Defensive Player of the Year, and to this day, he is universally recognized as the smartest defensive player to ever play the game.